I was just kind of curious how psychologists would define the term flying monkeys because it's really not a technical term. Well, this is what I found in Psychology Today. It says that flying monkeys has become synonymous with people who end up doing the dirty work of a narcissist. So, all right, psychology has accepted the term flying monkeys. They understand that it is a true phenomenon. Now, with that in mind, let's ask ourselves this question. What is it that we can miss about flying monkeys? Flying monkeys, again, is defined as those, not the best definition in my opinion, but those who do the dirty work of the narcissist. That's kind of a broad definition. And it needs to be broad definition because they do a lot of different things. Well, we came up with 7. See if you agree with me. Now, when I make these presentations, I always invite listeners to help me out because, there are other people who watch these videos and you may have some ideas you can put in the comments that, give suggestions to other people who are reading the comments and watching the videos as well. Well, what is it that we can miss? Sometimes we miss the fact that flying monkeys, and I prefer the term agent or narcissist by proxy, but pop psychology calls them flying monkeys, so that's what we're going to call them. They are loyal to the narcissist. That should be kind of obvious, but they are loyal to the narcissist, and I'm wondering why. Why is the flying monkey loyal to the narcissist? Because I had friends in the past, put friends in quotes because they weren't true friends. They were posing as friends, but they were friends, I thought, and so I was a friend to them. And in a sense, I was kind of a flying monkey, even though I don't recall ever doing their dirty work, beyond just enabling them by being their friend, by supporting them with friendship. So in a sense, that was kind of a lightweight flying monkey in that I was giving this person a little bit of support, which probably encouraged these narcissists to assault other people, abuse other people. So, get out of those relationships. That was my thinking, and I did. But they are loyal to the narcissist. They're not loyal to their own self-interest. And a lot of times, we don't even know that. Now, when I was entrapped in the snares, the deceitful web of narcissists, I didn't know it. I thought it was a true, genuine friendship, and you may have a love interest that turns out to be a narcissist, and you didn't know it. You had no idea. And so you worked, or you lived with a mindset that you were going to have this person's interest at heart, sometimes more so than your own interest. And that's what friends do. That's why we're friends. That's why we have loving relationships. We support each other. Nothing wrong with that, unless the person that you are a friend with is not a true friend. The person that you are in love with is not a true love interest. You think it is, but you have been deceived. So what is happening is, and this is something that we miss, that our loyalty is going to someone who is highly deceptive and not to ourselves. And when we get that backwards, ultimately, at least in my experience, and I'm pushing 70 years old, I got a lot of experience. My experience, it works against my self-interest. And when it works against my self-interest, it also works against the interest of my family and my true friends. For example, the narcissists that I was ensnared by were very fond of scamming me out of money. For example, I had one narcissist who borrowed $2,000. He had this scheme, and his scheme was, look, my son, who was an adult, the narcissist's son, had this old beat-up Cadillac that I would not take that car if you paid me to take it. Now, a junk dealer, that'd be different. I'm not a junk dealer. But my narcissist said that I want to borrow $2,000 for you to give to my son because he's having some tough times. So what I want you to do, talking to me, realizing that I'm naive, gullible, and just flat out stupid, He said, I want you to go buy that car for $2,000, which apparently is what this guy paid for it. You know, he bought it online, sight unseen. So, and then my narcissist said, I will pay you back. It'll be a loan just between me and you, and I'm going to take that car and I'm going to have it restored. What was I thinking? The guy needs $2,000. Where's he going to get the money to restore a Cadillac, right? I should have known better. Talk about a red flag. That's like somebody flying a red flag in your face. But anyhow, I went through with it because, well, I'm just gullible. So I went and along with the narcissist, and I visited the son, his son, and I wrote him out a check for $2,000. And I called the tow truck, my expense, and had him tow the car to the place of this guy's preference. Well, it turns out the story is that he sold the car for junk. Now, what about the $2,000 loan? Guess who's out $2,000? All right, now that is $2,000 that effectively was stolen from me to give to the narcissist's son. Now, why did I not give that $2,000 to my own kids who, you know, they have their own financial challenges? Well, because I'm stupid, because I'm naive, because I'm gullible. But the point is, when you are loyal to the narcissist as a flying monkey, you find that you are not loyal to yourself. Now, I thought, again, I hate to keep calling myself stupid, but I don't know what other term to call it, naive, gullible. I thought this good friend would pay me back, even though he'd borrowed money before and never paid me back. But, you know, it's my friend. He's on hard times. I'm going to help him. You know, all the things that a scammer will do, a grifter will do, a person who is fraudulent will do. But number one is a flying monkey is loyal to the narcissist, more so to themselves because, well, like me, they've been deceived, they were duped. Number two, flying monkeys tend to echo the narcissist slander. So you hear somebody say something about somebody else, and you know faith comes by hearing. We tend to believe what we hear, no matter what it is. And we walk by faith, not by sight. That is to say that we believe something, and even though we see something to the contrary, we tend to believe what we heard before we believe what we see. Seriously. I don't know how many times I've fallen for that. Countless times. But, you know, I have this belief because this is what I heard. And when you show me the difference, cognitive dissonance sets in, and what I try to do is justify what I've heard and try to reconcile it with what I see. Because, well, we walk by faith, not by sight. That's not just a spiritual principle. It's, in my experience, it's a psychological principle. We just do it. So a person who is a flying monkey, who is an agent, a narcissist by proxy, will echo the narcissist slander many times. Now, I can't recall ever doing that. I would hear the narcissist slander people, but I was never one to repeat slander. But most people, at least from my experience, most people do. You know, if a narcissist says this is a bad guy, then the flying monkey says this is a bad guy, and they blab it all over everywhere often. Number three, we tend to change our mind to agree. Now, you recall probably when you studied psychology, or even if you haven't, you may have seen this online, the infamous study in a college classroom where the teacher said, I'm going to draw some lines on the chalkboard or something like that, and I want you all to agree that the shorter line is the longer line. Then when this other student comes in, we're not going to tell him. We're just going to see as an experiment how he responds. Okay, so they do the experiment, and all the students say the short line is the long line. Now this other student agreed with him, even though he could see it. You know, he could see the line on the chalkboard or wherever it was. He could see it was shorter, but, you know, all these people can't be right, or can't be wrong, rather. Now, they did the experiment again, but they changed it slightly. Instead of all the students in the classroom saying the short line was longer, there was one student who disagreed to see what the other student would say. And what they discovered was if everyone in the class said the line is shorter except for one, then the subject student was more likely to agree with that one student. So what are we saying is this: we tend to echo what everyone else in the class says, even though it's obviously not true. That's human nature. But, you know, that one student who was instructed to be honest and disagree, in spite of the fact that everyone else was lying, that student had an impact on the subject student. That's why telling the truth is so important. You may say, well, everyone disagrees with me. Should I tell the truth anyhow? The answer is yes, because you do influence people. Number 3 is this: they will change your mind to disagree. And then number 4, the narcissist will spy on you. The way the flying monkey will spy on you, the way the narcissist does this is he sets up a conversation or a meeting. And this has happened to me a couple times between you, the victim, and the flying monkey, because he wants the flying monkey to pick your brain and then report back to him or her what it is you said about him or her, so he'll know how to more effectively destroy you. So flying monkeys sometimes just flat out work as spies. They're spying on you. So if you have, just out of nowhere, an invitation to, say, dinner or whatever by somebody that you know is close to your narcissist, you may want to respectively either decline, which I think is the best choice, or number 2, be very guarded in what you tell this person. Now, personally, I don't want to do this where I would meet with a flying monkey and flat out lie, because that hurts. Well, first of all, it's bad character, but it hurts my reputation, and that's what the flying monkey wants to do, so I'm playing his hand. Best thing to do, in my opinion, is be very guarded, or preferably, don't even talk to these people if you know that they are close to the narcissist. I've had business relationships that I just broke off because I knew the guy I was doing business with. He was lending an ear to the narcissist. I don't, that's secondary separation, I guess you'd call it. But no, I'm out of there. Number 5 is to fill the communication gap. So once you find out your narcissist is a narcissist, what you do in most cases is go gray rock. You just break off all communication. The narcissist does not like that. Now, he or she may do the same thing, break off all communication with you, and keep and convince your friends, your social circle, to break off communication with you as well. But they still have these flying monkeys who will go to you and try to keep that communication gap flowing between you and the narcissist. So you think, okay, I've gone gray rock. I'm not going to talk to the narcissist. I'm going to have nothing to do with him. As far as I'm concerned, he's dead and gone, or never was born in the first place. But I will talk to the flying monkey. Well, when you talk to the flying monkey, what you're doing is you're talking vicariously to the narcissist. That's why flying monkeys, one of the many reasons they exist, and we don't even know it. We just miss it because we don't realize what the narcissist is doing. Number 5 is fill the communication gap. Number 6 is flying monkeys are easily discarded by the narcissist. Now, yesterday, when we did a video, we talked about cult leaders and, why people follow these people, why flying monkeys, why narcissists have friends. Why are people befriending narcissists when they're bad people? Well, what we find out is those friends are easily discarded, and one of the illustrations we used was the Reverend Jim Jones, when he led, 900 people to Guyana, South America. And you talk about a final discard. I mean, this is over the top. He killed these people, like 900 of them, if I remember correctly. So these are loyal flying monkeys. And he discarded them. He was done with them. Just like the narcissist discarded you, he thinks no more highly of his flying monkeys or her flying monkeys than he thinks of you. Well, that's psychopathy. That is narcissism. That is a lack of effective empathy. And it's as if that part of their brain, their amygdala, this doesn't function. I mean, it's there. It's got to be working, right? But it's not working properly. It's kind of like my kidney. It's not working to its full capacity. Number 7 is this. Flying monkeys sometimes are easily manipulated. Now, by that, I say this, and this is something that we miss sometimes. These people were recruited by the narcissist because they're vulnerable and gullible. They believe just about anything. Now, if these people believe a lie, sometimes they will actually believe the truth. I know faith comes by hearing, and we walk by faith, not by sight, so we tend to believe what we hear. Well, what happens when the flying monkey hears the truth? Now, my experience, this may not have been your experience, but sometimes, not all the time, but about 80% of the people that the narcissist and his flying monkeys try to turn against me through a smear campaign, about 80% of those people actually sided with the narcissist. But I discovered that many of those people, maybe 80% of the 80%, once they found out the truth, once they realized that the narcissist had an arrest record, and once they found out he had a public record of being sued multiple times, this guy had a horrible, horrible past. Once the truth enlightened their brains, they flipped. They realized they made a stupid mistake. They realized, like I did, albeit late, that they had been scammed. They'd been fooled. Well, I was flipped when I found out the narcissist was a scammer. And the flying monkeys can also be flipped from believing the narcissist's lie to the daylight of the truth by simply hearing the truth. Okay, so how do you flip them? Well, somehow, some way, you need to get the truth to them without implicating yourself or saying something that is libelous. But they need to hear the truth. And if they do hear the truth, my experience is about 80% of them can be flipped. See those 2 rectangles on the screen? If you like what you hear and want to keep on talking, just click one of those 2 rectangles. The conversation will continue, and we'll see y'all next time.